I am the God man, living, learning his plan. This is teaching, never preaching, I'm the future advance. I'm the reason that you're reaching to the knowledge in this season. I'm the universe, lyrically in tune to work. My black magic beat is savage, so this music is my passion. I use a verse to break the spell, but the devil did his work on the small minds while he running his turf. Rap niggas want respect, but these chickens are jerked. Talking spicy, love money, love sex, dummy. Love disrespect instead of building connects. To be the best of ourselves on this planet called hell. I see a lot of Satans having your conversations about your life within the matrix, but you never learn to change it. Practicing your rituals to keep us in your cages, and my people do the same thing to keep us in that placement. Arguments of hatred, it stops with my engagement. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. We gotta step within our greatness. We gotta set the record straight. Peace. This is AMB on Random Thoughts. This is a podcast where I give you 5 to 10 minutes of a random thought. So here we go.
Can a police officer well, let me try this another way. If I'm walking down the street and a police officer wants to stop and talk to me, can he just stop and talk to me for any reason?
Senator, you can seek your consent to stop and talk to you.
What if I don't consent?
If you don't consent, then the officer needs to have a reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime has been committed, will be committed, and be able to articulate that to justify the stop.
Okay. Then how come police officers can set up a roadblock and stop 500 people to see if they have liability insurance?
My understanding is that the Supreme Court has ruled that those types of stops, when generally applied, are conducive to good order and policing.
Why? They're still stops, aren't they?
Senator, in my 8.5 years as a prosecutor, I've not had to litigate the adequacy.
I know. I'm just asking you what you think. I mean, isn't that pretty intrusive? What if I'm in a hurry to pick up my kid from school and I don't have time to wait for 10 minutes? And I don't want to wait anyway. Why? If a cop can't just stop me on the street, why can they stop me and check my insurance?
Senator, as far as my personal belief, I haven't encountered that.
I'm just asking you legally, why can they do that?
Again, I haven't encountered that issue, so I don't have the research on that, Senator.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
What you just saw there was a video of a senator. I don't know his name, but he was asking a lawyer, a prosecutor, questions about legal DUI stops. But not necessarily legal DUI stops, just regular police stopping of vehicles to check if people have liability insurance. Of course, it's an intrusive practice. When you see how these people in politics and the penal system try to avoid answering the questions properly. The question was asked. He was clear about his question. He said, listen, is it legal for you to stop and talk to me and I don't want to talk to you? The answer is no. It's not legal for you to be stopped by the police without a probable cause of a crime. But what they do is use everything as a crime. So let's say your insurance is revoked, right? That's a crime according to police, and they operate depending on how you respond to them. Some cops will let you go if your registration is revoked or your insurance is revoked. Some cops will, and some cops will be assholes and take your vehicle, impound your vehicle, and all other shit. It just depends on what, the cop is doing at the time, which means that the cop
is pretty much playing sovereign citizen. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, it is not legal for them to come and just talk to you for any reason without a probable cause of a crime. It's just that's 101. You don't even need to go to law school for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're supposed to identify themselves. You don't really have to identify yourself, especially if there's no crime. You don't have to identify yourself, right? And even in that instance, right, the police are supposed to identify themselves at all times. They're the ones that's subjected to identification because they're the ones that's the service person for the community. You know what I'm saying? Which means they're supposed to, and people will say, oh, this is not true. It is true, okay? It is true. You're supposed to identify yourself, and then you're supposed to give me the reason why. I shouldn't even have to ask you the reason why you stopped me. Because I might not know if I ran the light or some shit, and you know, things happen. They act like you know, the funny thing is that some people act like certain things happen. You might run a light because you was in a rush. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do know. You know what I'm saying? Last time I got pulled over, I knew what I did. And I'm super respectful to people in the first place. But I also know the enemy of the system and the enemy of the system and all that. I already know. So I don't operate like a fucking uneducated fool when I'm dealing with law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I accept the consequences off rip when I get pulled over. So if I'm driving a vehicle that's not insured, I expect for them to take it. If I drive a certain way, I expect to get a ticket. You know what I'm saying? If I made that mistake, I don't argue with the police because these guys are sensitive. These guys are egotistical. You know what I'm saying? It's not all of them, but the ones that you deal with on a regular basis that are nasty to people, yeah, those guys, man, all they are is gangsters with legislation. That's all they are. You know what I'm saying? So what the senator is asking, is it legal for you to just stop me randomly and ask me questions? The answer is no. They have to have a probable cause, and then that's when they come making up shit. You fit the description of a person that whatever the fuck, and that's not legal. You cannot go up to somebody in a manner as a police officer and go and just stop people just to check, like just to fucking ask them questions, and then when you don't want to talk to them, then they start checking shit. You know, they can check shit like they'll go up to your license plate and check to see if you're registered and you have insurance. This is all part of the game that they play to keep control over people. You know what I'm saying? To keep control over people. This is a game, and it's a stupid game because, you know, if you think about it, right, you don't need to check my insurance for anything. If I'm driving in the legal bounds of the community, you don't need to check my insurance to see, like, why would you need to check my insurance? Oh, because I didn't want to talk to you. So now you're using personal feelings to do your job. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the senator is trying to explain. But you see that the lawyers protect the police first. They're not going to protect unless you're in the pocket of the lawyer, right? The lawyers are going to protect law enforcement first. That's their oath. That's why they sit there. It's like, well, Senator, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. I haven't really dealt with that before. Yes, you have. You're just playing the role of dummy, so you don't have to fucking answer questions to the senators. So because the senators, they're getting all of these, you know, complaints and notices, and they're getting all of these recommendations of stuff that really they shouldn't have to deal with when it comes to law. You know what I'm saying? And they're dealing with these things because, one, it affects how laws are moved in this country. Like if you go into your local governments, the laws, it's kind of shaky what the actual laws is, especially when you're dealing with the police. The police always do things and you're not sure what's a crime anymore because fucking say something wrong to the police, it's a crime. If you fucking your license expires one day, or it's a crime because you want to drive your car. Well, like all this other shit that they like. And my thing is like I don't understand the control aspect of it, but I do understand it because it's all part of a system that wants to keep you under them. You know what I'm saying? Slavery has only been converted. It hasn't been abolished. It's only been converted. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that you're free in a system like this. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that. It's just not logical. It's not logical to think that you are free in a system like that. You know what I mean? Like California is one of the biggest police states. You know what I mean? California, one of the biggest police states in the country. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna spread around the whole nation. Like things are getting so bad that you're not even gonna be able to challenge these types of cases and these types of situations like the senator is doing. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be a problem. It's definitely going to be a problem, especially in the near future, where you have everybody trying to control the masses to try to get them to do and comply to what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's an unfair disadvantage, you know what I'm saying, in what they're doing. And it's like, if we don't educate ourselves and actually use what we've been educated on, it's a wrap. Well, that's my thought on it. I'll see you on the next thought. Peace.